What's up everybody, NFX here with another tutorial. This tutorial I'm going to talk about doing pitched snare rolls. Um, a pitched snare roll is popular in Dirty South style music, and it's usually a very fast fill type of a roll, and it's pitched, meaning portions of it will be in different pitches. There'll be different musical notes. Um, With this technique, the pitch often sounds like kind of like a tom fill in a way, because toms are usually pitched. You have like low tom, high tom, and mid tom. And what we're going to do is we're going to kind of like create that same feeling, but with like a high snare, mid snare, and a low snare. And to do that, it's really easy. So to get started, what I have is a simple pattern that I've created, and this pattern we're using an 808 kit because we want to give it a Dirty South style or sound to it. So I've got an 808 kick, an 808 snare, and an 808 hi-hat, and I'm running at a tempo of 80, and we'll use this as our starting point. So let's take a listen. Okay, so let's go ahead and modify that snare pattern. Now, in order to pitch the snare, we could do it in the step sequencer, which is these buttons. We could do it there, but we won't get the detail that we need. We won't be able to cut the notes down short enough to make it sound good. So what I need to do is move this into the piano roll. In order to do that, I'll right click on the channel and just say send to piano roll. Now that the data is in the piano roll, I need to make all these notes the same size. So I'm going to hit Control A to select them all, and then you can see I can size them however I want. So now they're all the same size. And with the snare roll, we're going to concentrate on the latter two snares. And we're actually going to concentrate on this beat, and this beat. We're going to do like 3 beats worth of fill. And however many beats you use is really up to you. But for demonstration, it's going to be easy enough to show you this way. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to basically paint in the snares in order to pitch them. And one way I can do that is I can select my paintbrush up here, and then select the snare, which means anything I paint will be the same as what I just painted as far as the timing goes. So now I can just drag this over and start painting them in. And I want to do that all the way across. But I want to just show you another way of creating what I just painted. You can obviously use the pencil tool here and then draw them in one at a time. But then you might do what I just did, where I kind of got it in the middle of the beat and then I have to move it over. But another thing you can do is you can just chop it. So for example, I can make one long thing like this and say, okay, that's what I want to chop. So I'll select that, then I'll go to my tools and I'll say chop. And then I can adjust this multiplier right here and have it chop more or less. So I'll start like that, and you can see now I have it all chopped across. I'll hit OK, and we're good. Okay, so now what we have is basically this long pattern of a fill, and what I'm going to do, just because it's one of the techniques I use, you don't need to do this, but every other one I'm just going to lower the velocity just a little bit. And let's take a listen to what it sounds like this way. Okay, so it's just like a standard sounding fill. It's not too slow, and it's not like insanely fast either. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to do the pitching part of this exercise, and I want to basically select one beat, and one beat is between this line and this line, and then I'm going to pitch it up, which which means I'm going to move these up a few notes. I'm going to leave the middle one where it's at, and then this last section I'm going to pitch it down a few notes. And just do whatever sounds good to your ear for doing that. You know, start one way and then listen to it and see. So let's take a listen. Okay, so now you have the pitched roll sound, snare roll sound. And so what you might want to do after this is you can make these faster by shrinking them down and putting in more notes. You could make them more interesting by removing some notes. So I might want to remove a couple of notes like this. And I don't know what this is going to sound like, so we'll see. I don't know. We'll go like that. Let's just hear what this sounds like. Okay, so you can hear that now it sounds a little more interesting. Maybe it doesn't sound particularly great in the context that you're hearing it right now because it's you know, there's nothing else playing other than the beat. But with some music behind it, a vocal or something, you know, this type of a fill gives a lot of energy, or helps to keep the energy of the track going. So when we go back out to our pattern, you can see the visual representation of that in this particular pattern. And you can do that for anything. You can also pitch your kick drums. That's done sometimes, especially with these long booming kicks. You might hear them pitched actually to the song, you know, to the key of the song, because the low kick often sounds almost like a bass, a very low bass. But anyway, that's how you do a pitched snare roll in FL Studio, and you can use the same knowledge to do that in just about any other sequencer that exists out there. And in the meantime, I hope you have fun with it. And this is NFX saying I will see you guys in the next tutorial.